Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Everquest Old School. And on tonight's episode, I am joined by a whole bunch of really good friends. We have Nano with us.
Hey guys.
And what character are you playing, and what level is he?
Level, I think 14? 13 still. Shadow Knight.
And
He is a human just for Chupa.
Right.
I made him just for Chupa, pretty much.
We also have Chupacabra. I don't know if he's at the computer at the moment.
Yes.
There we go. And he's going to be bringing over one of his alts. Who are you bringing, man?
Get to the chopper.
Oh, nice. All right. We're going to get... Where's he at right now? All the way over in...
He's about
Swamp?
to zone into Oasis from North Row, level 10 Tro Shaman.
Sweet.
You know, class race combo that makes sense.
They're just so fat. I guess you're going to get shrink sometime in there,
You get
right?
shrink at 19, man, but
Yeah.
you can't fix human.
Well, yeah, I guess. But like I said, I like the fact that humans were running... I guess maybe I shouldn't say I liked, but I got used to the fact that humans were running around as monks pretty much for the first half of the game. I mean, that's all you get.
You got no choice. Yeah, you have to suck it up, but there's so many choices.
Now,
So many
but
choices.
so many people maxed out their monks before that even became a thing that even once
True.
you can go with lizards, you still saw tons of them around all over the place. So, I don't know. Maybe...
Shadow Knight, man. You got Ogre, you got Tro, Ixar, Dark Elf.
Yeah, Dark Elf for sure. When I think of evil characters, I kind of want an evil race for it to go with.
Humans are evil. They've been polluting the world.
They
Global
do.
warming.
Yeah. You even see it in Freeport where they're like, stay away from my lands. You've already polluted your waters. And if you go look at the waters in Freeport, they do look a little dirtier than most of the other waters on the game. So maybe the programmers kind of threw that in there back in the day before anybody was really paying attention to it too much. But yeah, you know, they're a pretty good class, I think. Maybe a decent race. They're not great at anything. Definitely not min-maxing on any of this stuff. We also have Bushido Bull with us tonight.
Hey.
Tell us who you're playing and what class, man.
I am on Ruhog today. I haven't played my Ranger in fracking forever. He's 14th level. 40% into the level since we got over here.
How'd you pronounce his name?
Ruhog.
Man, I swear when I look at it, I think Rogue, just with the weird H in there, kind of silent thing.
Yeah, it could be. I guess you could use it that way. But he went with the Ranger instead, so...
Yeah, I was like, this dude already has a Rogue. What's up? Sad on me.
What's the other stuff? Rouge? Rouge? I think, yeah, it can have like the H in there that's silent or whatever, so... Yeah, you could go with that. I don't know. I like Rangers, but I'm kind of torn between whether they're going to be a good class for me or not, because I grouped with Chupa, and I was telling them about this on the last episode. You made a cleric that was, you know, tweaked out, to say the least, and you were taking hits better than my Ranger was.
It was just the gear.
Maybe. I don't know. It just kind of left...
just the gear.
It just kind of left me befuddled and, like, thinking maybe not going to be the best choice as a Ranger class. Oh, we got a goal.
We got a goal.
Somebody was out there a little bit too far. Oh, yeah, you know, Fatso is going to get it. Fatso is going to... Oh, well, he was until you pulled it back.
See if I can't root him.
Clerics. Low on mana, too.
I don't know if we can take a goal.
Oh, I'm rooted.
If you got to, zone it, guys.
I'm rooted.
I snared him. I think I snared
Yeah,
him.
you snared him, and he's coming for me.
Let the necro go.
Tainted Breath. Let's see if this works.
Okay, so he's
The pet's
snared.
beating on it pretty good.
Yeah, I think I'm going to run it around and toss the... My spells are actually landing on him, so...
He's only max level 20, I think. We're taking him. We got him. Just beat him. What most he'll do is root. But you run, Devin.
I'm running it. Don't worry about that. I don't want to be anywhere near that guy. He hit me for 36 just running right by him. Woo, 10%. 4%. All right, we got him. He took most of our mana, though.
Go get that giant.
The funniest thing earlier, somebody was actually killing the giant. Got him down to about 44%. And I guess he was doing it while he was waiting for the boat. And the boat arrived. So he just jumped on the boat and rode the boat out while the thing was chasing him.
Crit Mummy got on your pet.
And so we saw the giant out there swimming in the water, traveling from the zone line, and it was just the craziest thing we've ever seen. I've never seen the giant out in the water before. Definitely kind of dangerous, though, because it was right behind this pillar where everybody sits for safety, so not exactly the kindest thing to do, but I think somebody else snagged him, and it didn't end up killing anybody, so. Now, have you ever come over here with Chupa to kill any of the giants? Is that good experience, good money, or not really worth it?
I haven't tried, no. Haven't bothered.
Because there's what, 3 of them? 3 of them in a name, the Castle?
I think so, yeah, Castle ain't gonna happen.
No, I think I've heard that you need at least a good group with you, or maybe the right duo combination can sometimes take them as well, but...
A 60 Necro 60 Rogue duo could take them, I think.
Yeah, that's a pretty OP...
You've gotta
I'm not
have...
he could be feared, though.
You gotta have them decked out, though, yeah.
And
He can't be feared, no.
And he's just for an epic piece, right? He's like, he doesn't drop anything else, not even randomly.
Enchanter, I believe?
Enchanter
It's a
epic
point, I
piece?
think, that's a bit.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, he's almost always up. I almost never see anybody kill that
He
guy.
does have coin, because I ran by him one time and I picked his pocket on a drive-by. And he did have some coin on him.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to play a rogue so I can pick pockets, but I don't know if I want to do that to the point of running through a zone and just looting everything they have. Because the next guy who comes in and kills those mobs is going to get jack off of those things, and that's
Well,
a pretty...
not really, because I can prove it. There was a mob over in East Freeport Docks inside the Seafarer's Roost or whatever it's called. She has a mandolin, right? I went up and I picked her pockets, got the mandolin. Still showed it in her hand. And then I disarmed her and it dropped to the ground. So why would she have 2 mandolins?
I don't know how that works with NPCs as far as people inside towns. I do know how giants over in Wrath Mountains, if somebody's over there picking their pockets and things of that sort, you're going to get a lot less money off of them. And if you pick the Goblineers off of the goblins over in Highkeep, they won't have them on their corpse when you kill them.
People can hand items to NPCs too, though.
Right, so somebody maybe handed them too?
Or she might have been broken and had to. Who
Yeah.
knows?
No,
But
because
I was...
it spawned right in front of me. So nobody but me interacted with her.
Because I know on live, when you pickpocketed something, it took from the loot table of the actual mob.
Yeah, it still does, because you'll see people really get upset if they find out a rogue is pickpocketing in their group in Highkeep, to the point where they kick them out of the group, because they just can't have that. Those ears are worth, I think, 25, 30 plat a piece, and they give you massive amounts of experience, so they're not having any of that. It's like almost pickpocketing over in Seb. If people find out you're doing that, they boot you out of the group too, because those gems and those earrings and things of those sort are worth, 150, 200 plat a
You
piece.
can't pickpocket the frogs.
Well, that's
You
good.
can do the act, but you won't ever get anything.
Right.
So that's a good place to skill up at.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those iffy things. I mean, rogues always had that reputation of being undesirable, but they have so much DPS that they bring to the table that some people were willing to put up with a little bit of loot being missing here and there. I do remember people talking about over in the Frenzy Camp killing the actual named mob and not getting a belt, not getting anything, it being absolutely nothing on the mob, and then OOC would start being like, "You got a rogue in your group, talk to that guy," and
Well, that belt's magical. You can't pick anything's magical, lore, or no drop.
you used to be able to, man, because that used to be a thing that they would talk about in the zone.
That's because people didn't know what they were talking about.
I don't know about that.
But see, you could go in there and kill that mob and it not have it.
It always has something though.
Coin,
Like
maybe.
I don't know about ever
But a rogue
killing
will
the.
never pick all the coin off.
I don't know about ever killing a named mob and having absolutely nothing on it. It always has some kind of loot.
Stole that dwarf's crocodile.
Oh, did I really? Oh man, this is what I get for not paying attention.
Poor
Where is
dwarf.
it?
I apologize, man. Didn't
He's
mean to.
warping. I didn't.
Kill still, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I tick Dark Dragon off big time when I tell him that. I just did a drive-by on a mob. You son of a bitch! You shouldn't be allowed to pickpocket. I'm like, well, I can, so I will.
Okay, so that's enough for me pulling then.
I'm out of arrows, or I could bow pull.
Oh man, gonna get a reputation on Sir Blast, man.
Yeah, you're gonna get reported for kills though, and I'm gonna be
He's been
reported for
watching them
talking to Cuba
videos.
badly.
Animosity. That's actually the name that my friend played on his paladin back in the day.
Animosity.
Yeah.
Oh my calves.
Did you guys have anybody that you used to play with a lot that you can remember their names? I know there's a lot of freaking names to remember over the years, but
Most of them
you-
I've duplicated.
A character, you mean?
yeah, just a
friend?
character, yeah, a friend's name that you thought was like really cool.
2 guys I grouped with since day one, all the way through like 40s to 60s. One guy was he had to think about it a while. His name was Ranger Blue. He was a ranger. And then there was a druid. His name was Dank Elf, and that's how I named my cleric. I named him after him. And he was a wood elf too. We were all wood elves until I made my bard.
I can't believe you played a wood elf, man.
I have a wood elf warrior. It's level 54, man. What are you talking about?
They're so small and fragile looking. It's crazy though, yeah. For your warrior, it's actually kind of interesting to see them.
They have forage and hide.
I don't know. Either one of those is really going to be something you need for a warrior, but the hide thing could be interesting.
Why be normal, man? You know what I mean? Why be normal?
Right. Go with something kind of unique.
Yeah.
Speaking of unique, if you're going to go into Pantheon, what would be something you would consider being kind of a weird class makeup to go with on a game like that?
I don't know all the classes, but I think I'd want to be something evil, because my first experience with Everquest was good. You know what I mean? And I think if I did something new, I'd want to be evil. So.
Right. See, I did the exact opposite. I went with evil right off the bat. I went with Shadow Knight, Dark Elf. So
I would probably, if they allow the combination, the Scar Monk.
I think Monk is in there, and Scar is definitely a race. I don't know if it's going to be the combination or not. You're right on that one. It could be something unique, but we'll have to wait and see on that one. I definitely want to go with the warrior because Thum wants to go with the healer this time. So I'll be your tank and going more towards... I don't know if I'm going to go straight warrior or more towards a paladin or Shadow Knight, because they have all three right there. They got the paladin's version. They got the Shadow Knight, I think is called something around the line of like dark... Was it dark something? Dark... man, I wish I had it up at the moment to see. And then they have a straight up warrior. Sea leaf... Oh, we're losing clarity. Dang it.
I'd probably do anything but casters. I just never have liked casters. So.
Really, not any of them. Not wizards, not mages, necros.
I played a mage until I got my first pet, and when I realized I couldn't name my pet, I deleted my character that same minute.
Dire Lord.
A Dire Lord, there you go. That's the Shadow Knight one. They are going. They did eventually give people the ability to name their pets in EverQuest. I forgot when that came out, but you can call them whatever you want. That. Yeah, it came out, I think, with maybe Plane of Power or sometime afterwards.
No, way after.
Way after?
Because
okay.
even Omens of War, you couldn't name your pet.
It was after Omens of War too, man. It
Yeah.
was after I quit.
It was way after I quit. Yep.
Yeah, you could change the name of your pet. I remember Druids. Yeah, I think it was Druids. They even got that little will-o-wisp that used to follow them around. That did something with A's. I forgot what it was, and you were able to name that. And my brother used to call that Shiny because it was something that they had in EverQuest too.
Before I left, they came out with, I can't remember what they called them. It was a small companion. It wasn't a pet. It wasn't attack or nothing, but whatever.
Oh, for the wizard?
No, you summon things. You summoned them with like a clicky mask or a clicky whatever.
Familiar the wizard's got.
Maybe it was familiar. But each one would be like, 30 to saves of fire or 10 plus attack or, you know what I mean, or whatever it was that they did.
Right. So it was just kind of a little buff.
Yeah, it's more of a buff. They came out with so much stuff. Did you guys play when they had like the friendship camps or circles and all that stuff? And
no, what was that? Friendship circles.
Well, they had leader XP. So you would, if you were the leader, you would get XP, and then you would get traits for like you'd make friends and like.
You get
summon
more.
the group to you.
You could port to a camp when you put like a friendship camp up or something like. I can't remember what it's called, but like you could put a friend camp up. But if you fought inside that circle, you would get the benefit of like 30 plus health regain and 30 plus mana regain or something like that.
That's
and only your
cool.
friends that were in it would get it.
That's cool, actually. I like that. I mean, Pantheon's kind of doing something close to that. It's not to the sense of they have to be your friends, but if you have people in your group... Oh, man, I was sitting too far out. Dry Bone Skeleton got me. Let me see if I can root
Oh
him.
gosh, where's it at?
He's rooted. He's rooted.
He's
That's-
rooted.
those
All
are-
right, you're good then.
Those are usually red.
He might be, actually. Yeah, he's red to me.
He's very red.
I can zone him if you guys want.
And clerics,
Yeah, we might have to zone him. Then I got Spirit of Wolf. But Pantheon's doing something like that where if you are in a group with somebody and you camp out, you can run from one spot to another with that group, and when you log back in, your character will be with them, even though you're in a different spot.
It doesn't drop you from the group when you log out?
You can force them to be kicked out of the group if you want to, like fill it with another spot, but if you leave them in there, their name will just be kind of like grayed out or something along those lines. You guys got to decide.
Yeah, they never answered, so I guess I'm gonna try to do this and get my face eaten off.
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't have done that.
I'll slow him down.
Did you get him?
Did it stick? Oh, nope, it didn't stick.
The same guy that complains we don't pull hard shit doesn't answer when I ask him a question. You know
Still
what I
out of mana.
mean? Freaking moron.
Yeah. Oh. The pets are getting invulnerable runs.
No, I mean, yeah, they're not going to be able to hit it, but they're going to be able to take the aggro, so we're going to have to do damage on it ourselves. Tribal Skeleton, 60.
Fear. When do they get fear?
Yeah,
When
he's-
do Necros get...
He's a
Necros get
62.
Fear at level 4, man.
I'm saying, fear this damn...
I think he
Take
is. I
fear.
think he just did right
What
there.
level is he?
No, it's
What
chasing him.
level is Necro?
We got two of them.
He's 16. Or
He's got
15 or
Spook to
something.
Dead, man. That's
Yeah, he's
cheap,
resisting
cheap.
everything from me.
Oh, it's at
Well,
14%. They got it.
Spook to Dead is a, it's got a low resist rate on it, and
shit.
it fires off quick. Like, real quick.
Someone, the big fat guy rooted it.
Yeah, so
there
just
we
helped
go.
us.
I'm not being mean. His name is Fatso. So
Yeah, I know,
big
yeah.
fat guy.
You picked the right name for it, though, man. Those guys are so just over-encumbered on the size that they are. They're hard to get through. I had no idea until I played one what kind of perspective that you actually had with them. They're so much taller than any other race that I've ever played. When you go into Upper Guck, you feel like your head is scraping the ceiling.
You got to duck in certain rooms.
Yeah, we're going through over there where the
Oh,
spiders were.
Flip, mummy.
Soul A is terrible.
Ah, mummy.
Oh, is it for those guys?
Yeah, for ogres and trolls, Soul A is horrible.
I've seen people get those ant potions for their warriors,
Yeah.
but they're supposed to be 20 or 30 plat apiece, I think is what they said for each charge.
They're pretty expensive, yeah.
So I'm like, I'm not doing that. But then, the bracer that you get for a warrior is super insanely expensive. Like 25k, I think the last time I saw it. And that's if you can even find it for sale. I see the MQable ones going quite a bit. But, you're going to need the faction for those and the gem, so.
But that doesn't shrink, though, does
Did
it?
you just get diseased?
Yeah, they do infinite shrink on the bracer.
On the Velius ones?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize that. Nice.
So you can get the Velius, or you can go with the Carnor's Castle one for the warrior as well.
Yeah, it's the Cobalt one, I think.
You're right.
Right? Is it Cobalt?
Yeah, it's Cobalt.
My shaman can make shrink potions, by the way, if you ever need them. Actually, he has like a couple stacks on him right now.
How much does it cost you to make them?
It's not 200. I'd have to look. I sell them for 200 plat a stack, so I mean, it's not that much.
And how many in a stack? Like 10?
Yeah, it's a 10 dose.
Yeah, 10. 10 dose.
So-
But that's what I sell them for usually. But I mean, if you need them, I hook you up for whatever the material mats cost.
Oh, yeah, I appreciate that, man. So it
It's
comes out to about 20
Probably closer
platinum.
125 or something. You don't make tons of money on alchemy though, like people think you do. You really don't.
Right.
Not till you get higher
It's just
up.
easy to sell some of them is all.
Yeah,
Alchemy's a convenience thing.
Spirit of Wolf potions are just amazing. I know Thum never leaves home without at least 2 of them now.
I think a stack of Spirit of Wolf, because I make more of them. I think they cost like 80 to make, something like that.
Sell it for about 100.
And that's if you don't fail at all. You know what I mean? Then you sell them for 100 and make 20 plat.
Yeah. It's the same thing I was doing with the backpacks. Those weight reduction backpacks. You buy the pelts for about 30, and then you make it and you sell it for about 60. So you're making a little bit more money off of that, a little bit faster, but they don't stack like yours do, and they're not quite as needed.
Sellable.
You don't have to run the Cabalist to make them.
You got to run all the way over there to make yours.
Mm-hmm.
You can't go to Thurgan at all?
He's an Ixtar. Well, yeah.
Because it has all those trade skill stuff there. In fact, it has a lot of stuff that some of the other zones don't even have.
Cabalist as fast as Thurgan. Maybe, although I might have.
GD?
I have his GD key now.
Yeah,
so
just
maybe,
teleport right there.
might
What are
have
you
to
trying
check
to bind, dude?
that
Oh, yeah.
myself.
Yeah, 54.
I'm over 50 now.
You've been over 50 for the last 4 of them.
I was just sitting there talking and hitting the bind button. I'm a human. Leave me alone.
You can bind me if you want.
All right, where are you at?
Oh, are you low?
Yeah, he's down below 30.
Someone gave my pet an axe, and it looks really weird.
I did.
Is the rusty one?
Oh,
Yeah, it's
probably.
one of the ones off that Tribones.
That dry bones was tough.
Fancy robe. Is that the black and crystalline robe?
You're a troll. You should be.
I'm out of bandages.
You should already be regen by now.
Yep,
Come on.
it is the black and crystalline robe,
Regen harder.
which is probably more for an enchanter than a wizard. But I do like the charisma; it's kind of nice. It's 5 charisma, 6 intel, 8 AC, 10 to resist a cold. So
The spider still didn't die. A bunch of slackers.
it just looks cool. I love the fact that there's so many different robes out there that you can wear for all the different colors.
I'm keeping Alara warm.
You're right.
Just don't fart, man.
I was gonna say you should have sat on the gnome.
I don't know.
Wouldn't that be
Oh,
kind
no.
of like using a gerbil?
I'm gonna die.
Oh,
my
no,
God.
I'm inside you.
I can't life tap or anything,
Herring.
man.
I may root it if I can.
Oh, he resisted.
Oh my God, I'm gonna die.
Should have made an ogre.
He was letting you know that 30 mana is about 2 heals, by the way.
He
and he's-
resisted again.
Yeah, he's resisting everything I got. And I'm out of mana.
Well, if a necro sits there and lets it beat on him rather than fear it, that's his own damn fault.
Well, maybe sometimes the spell might not take. It might get interrupted.
Or he doesn't know. You gotta remember, we are level 13. A lot of people just learning their classes for the very first time.
I get necro. I get
Stop
I get
making
fear at
excuses.
15.
Right? Make excuses for him. I just remember when I was this low, I didn't know jack, especially when I played my Necro. I still don't know anything on that guy. It's the very first time I've
Oh,
really...
I love when I played a Necro.
It's just a new experience. Like, I don't know their spells very well. I don't know how to, do all the fancy stuff I've seen other Necros do to take a whole camp for themselves and just kind of, pimp stuff out. But it's a learning experience for sure.
I haven't seen him try to do fear though. He hasn't tried to do fear, has he?
I haven't seen it. Actually, we have 2 of them, so I haven't seen it from either one of them.
Oh yeah, because the cleric's got fear by now, right, too.
I give the cleric a little bit more slack. It's a fear spell is probably, I think I've cast maybe 5 or 6 times on my cleric. It's not very mana efficient.
No, not for you guys.
I do not remember sometimes that there might be new people to play this game. It's such an old game, you know what I mean? I just think of most people playing are probably already have played before. So maybe I'm not being fair, I guess.
You're just an elitist. Confirmed.
Sometimes, man.
58 bard.
Sometimes.
You should be able to play every class there is.
You got to remember though, that, like people were getting their friends into the game that didn't play back in the day either. So
And well, like one of your viewers on Twitch, is it Madman?
he's on there, yeah.
D1 Madman. He was asking about where to find the game because he wanted to try it out.
Oh right.
So he should be relatively new to the server. I don't know if he ever downloaded. I can't remember if he actually downloaded it or not. Wasn't able to talk to him.
Yeah, I know I've had a few people who were trying to look for the game, and unfortunately, guys, it is what it is. It's an older game, and you do need a very specific CD. It's Everquest Titanium, and because it's used on all of these emulators, not just Project 1999, but I think 2002 uses it, as well as several other ones out there. It's kind of sought after in the sense that it's gone up from like used to be like $5-6 to where I got mine for about $30. And now I hear it's up upwards to 200. So that's a little ridiculous and a lot of money to spend on a game, but you can find it out there. It's worth it, in my opinion, because it's a great game, but that has to be something you have to decide for yourself whether to get it or not. You can go on the forums, too, and you can check out what other people say about where to find it and what to do with it. Yeah, you may even have the disc laying around at home somewhere, which would be fantastic. I know I got several different versions of Everquest. I don't think I ever had Titanium, though. Titanium was... When did that come out? Do you guys know?
Titanium was late because it's 25 expansions.
Yeah.
It was after Planes of Power, I believe.
Way after Pop. Yeah, because at Pop, it was still... I want to say it was the Platinum version of the game.
Oh, okay.
I had that one as well. I had the Platinum version.
Well, you have to take out...
Platinum.
Don't you have to take out Omens of War or something?
No, they do that for you for P99.
No, I mean, what's the zones you have to take out
you
when you
had to delete
download it?
certain zone files.
Oh, yeah. Lava Storm was one of them. It's the old...
Nicholas was one.
Yeah. It's because the zone got a revamp. And the new expansion, or that expansion, maybe not the new expansion, but that expansion of Titanium has the newer zone in it. So you get rid of it, and EverQuest automatically goes back to its default, which is still in those files somewhere as well.
Well, Lava Storm got its revamp when they had Dungeons of North, or was it Dragons of North? DON, whatever. Dragons of North, maybe, came out?
Lost Dungeons of Norath.
No,
Yeah,
this is Dragons. This is
I
later.
think it was Dragons, yeah, because that's when they revamped EC. They revamped a whole bunch of different areas. But if you look, when you log in and you look at the server screen, when you log into P99, at the bottom it'll scroll in chronological order all the different expansions that came with Titanium.
Right.
And, I mean, if you want to sit there and look at all 25 of them...
See, I don't know very many people, or at least maybe it's just my perspective on it, that got into EverQuest that late. So when I did the expansions, I just bought the expansion that was coming out, you know, like the new one.
I bought the digital downloads until I lost discs because of moves. I mean, I moved a lot. And that's when I bought Platinum, and then I moved again, and I don't know how I lost discs, dude, but whatever. And I bought Titanium. I thought it was Titanium. Maybe it was Platinum, and then I started doing digital downloads from then on.
I don't remember when they started it, but at some point, as long as your account was credited to having that expansion, you could just download their exe file from their actual website.
You could, yeah, you could.
And then just do
Later
that
on, though,
freaking
like,
long patch.
Because when expansions came out, I mean, when you could download the digital download of the expansion or the hard disk of the expansion, or you could buy those package ones, and it was like only $15 more, and you had them all there, plus some extra peripheral stuff, you know, maps, books, whatever the case was that came with it. So it's kind of worth it if you wanted to just get all that.
Yeah, loot. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm weird. I like having the actual hard copy of a video game, and I like having like you said, the maps. And I got Borderlands, and I got the loot crate. The loot crate was something that they had. I don't know if you guys ever played Borderlands or not. It was, in the game when you open up chest, it was a loot crate is what they called it, and it would have like the gun come out and kind of open up and stuff. So when they created like their deluxe edition for the game, they put all this extra stuff in there too, and in this little box that looked like one of the loot crates, and it was just kind of a cool little aspect. EverQuest used to do the same thing in the sense that they would give you a box and it would kind of be engraved. You could feel like the different layers of the dragon coming out of the box itself. You get like a little cloth map in there. I know they gave little character models of what's her name?
Fiona Vi.
Yeah, Fiona Vi. She's in there. Actually, I have two of her. One of her little staff's broken on one of them. I guess it got jostled around or something at some point and got broken.
You got excited.
Yeah, that went somewhere, guys. I'm not going to say where. But yeah, it was cool to get those little things. They're not huge. It's not going to be something that's going to make or break a video game. But if you enjoy a video game, you might want to have that poster up on your wall if you're, when you're younger. If you have the map, it just gives you that tactile sensation of being able to hold it in your hand and kind of like just see the world for what it is and get you more into that role play aspect of playing a game like this in the first place. I'm hoping Pantheon will do the same thing somewhere down the road. I know they're, right now you can donate money to them, and depending on what package you go with, you can get different stuff. They do have like these digital prints they're offering, but you have to donate like $15,000 to get a digital print, so that's nuts. It's a little bit too high on my price range, but I wouldn't mind.
when they go live, are you gonna have to buy a whole set of discs, or will you be granted one because you helped test the game?
If you go with the $100 package, it's one of the lowest ones you can go with. You'll get the game. You get 2 copies of it, actually, so you can get the game and give one to your friend. You get into the alpha and the beta testing of it, and when the game goes live, you get the game as well. You can continue to go with it. They are going to have like a monthly subscription, which I believe is something like 13 or 14 bucks. It's kind of like what it was for Everquest back in the day. I don't know how long that will last before they go down the free-to-play route, which seems to be where most MMOs go at some point. But, you know, right now they're trying to raise money so they can finish the game and make it what they want it to be, which is not a bad idea. You know, it's not. I don't have any problem with paying $14 a month. I know some people out there don't want to do it anymore. I did that for like, I don't know, 8-9 years on Everquest. So I've had my fill of it, but if you want a really good game that you're going to enjoy, that might be the price you have to pay for it. It's better than having commercials all over my game.
I personally would prefer them to charge a monthly rate than to have things online like a chicken to ride, fly around on, or a Chronos to buy, or you know what I mean.
Exactly.
I would rather just have a monthly subscription. In my opinion.
Lay off the chickens, dude.
What you talking about, Final Fantasy on that one? The Chocobos or whatever they're called?
I mean, if you all get into live, everyone's riding a lion or something, and someone's, you know what I mean? Like, everyone has a pet that's a dinosaur, or, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
those raptors.
Crazy, man. That's too much. That's what I'm getting at. I'm not trying to bash on live, sorry.
I like chicken.
They did have the mounts that you had to actually earn in the game. I remember those, and it was highly sought after for any caster whatsoever, especially clerics, because you never got sit aggro anymore, and you were always sitting.
You could buy the first ones, though, the drums.
Was it
with mounts?
Was it the drum? Yeah, I think it was the drum that summoned them, right? It's some of that big like ward or something.
Looked like a big old lizard, like
yeah,
a fat lizard. It's like 10,000 flat or something like that. It was crazy.
And you could buy a horse in the bazaar.
But you had to do it with your actual money, like your in-game money. It wasn't just like let me spend.
Yep, in-game money, flat.
And I bought that one. I have that one on my character still, and I remember when it was super expensive, and I had to save up all the little pennies that I've earned and everything else to do it. But
I was farming down in Plain of Justice to be able to get one.
So worth it though, man. So they were that beast though to move. They're so comely. Like they didn't go around corners.
So
it started out slow, but once they got going, man, they were fast.
But they didn't stop either. Like if you're coming up to a ledge and you stop moving, it would still keep walking for another like 5 or 6 feet before it actually stopped.
They were slower than so. They were about J-boot speed.
Still was faster than anything I had for my cleric most of the time.
I mean, it wasn't bad. I think at the time I had Traveler's boots.
You could buy a Salos speed horse or whatever. I remember that being a thing.
Later on, yeah.
But see, those are the things I'm not really a big fan of, because then you can just use real money versus having to earn it in game. And when you can do that, most people are just like, why camp it for, maybe 2 months or save up for 2 months when I can just pay, a month's worth of subscription fee and get me an item. So it became worthless to do it in the game the natural way. And so everybody just paid for it.
I think that's what Chronos is supposed to be trying to do. I mean, you can buy it online or you can farm it, I think, in game. But I never
could find where you can farm Chronos.
You can't farm Chronos. You can. Somebody has to buy it.
I thought you could.
You buy it with real money. No, you buy it with real money.
Oh hell!
And then you can sell it. No, then you can sell it for plat. So other people out there who may not have those kind of funds on them, but are still playing like the free-to-play part of it, they can farm up enough cash eventually to maybe get a few Chronos, and then when they want to go raiding for a couple months here and there, they use those Chronos, go raiding, and then go back to free-to-play again. So
yep.
Well,
and on certain servers, Chronos are, good grief, god awful expensive.
Yeah. Well, it's because there's so much money on the server that none of it's being taken out anymore. Like, you have to have that combination. This game doesn't really do too hot. I don't like to say anything bad about it, but it doesn't do it too hot of a time taking money out of circulation as much as it probably should have. Really, the only high-end money that's being taken out is rechargeables. And some of them are kind of costly, but they're not costly enough, I don't think. So after the server's been out for a few years, you're going to see people out there who have... Man, I see, what's that, Torpor going for like 125K on average, right?
That's ridiculous.
That's a lot of freaking platinum, man. Yeah. And then if people have that kind of platinum to spend, I can only imagine what they got in their bank. There's probably people out there with millions of platinum in their bank. not very many
Oh,
of them, but
sure.
there's somebody out there with it at least.
I'm sure there are.
So yeah,
I mean, I've only been playing for 6 months, so people have been playing since the server was live.
Yeah.
Went live. They've got
6-7 years ago. Yeah.
I've been playing for 6 months and I got level 58.
And a 54, and a 45.
And a 54, yeah.
Sorry, Chupa.
And
sensitive topic. Chupa still.
all I'll say.
Chupa was on
Chupa's such a
54.
I
for-
am, dude. I'm so mean. I'm sorry.
It's all right, man. I know it. I now I know what you were talking about with 54. I don't remember it being that horrible. I guess
don't
because
either.
I played hardcore back before. I mean, I would just sit there and play all day long when I got into a good group, or maybe it's even worse than it was before.
No, I think you're right. I think it's just a matter of we didn't prioritize our lives very well back then.
Yeah. Oh, well, teenager, you got time to kill when you got time to kill. So
I just remember I was really pale back then. I still am really pale. Didn't see the light of day. So when you step outside in the daylight, you're like,
Yep. Yeah,
Burst into flames.
get that vitamin D, guys. Get the vitamin.
yeah.
We got a crocodile running by. I don't know. It's just when you do casual, you may take like an hour and a half to get your group actually finally going in Seb. And if you only got 3 hours to spend that day, it only gives you about an hour pretty much to get that experience, and then about half an hour to start working your way back out again. So it can take a while. Take a long time to get your level, and 54 was just nasty. Finally through it, and within the first like 30 minutes, I got half a bubble of yellow. So, yeah.
That's good.
Night and day difference. I might actually get 56 to get you guys that res. Then I won't need my
I think
clicky anymore.
I can't think about how long I've been 58. Of course, I played ults a lot, but I still need like 40% and 58 to get to 59.
Is 58
Stop
pretty bad?
Moving human.
It's slow. No, not me. No, sorry.
No, that's what I'm saying. But for 58, is it as bad as 54, or you think worse?
It's slow. It's pretty slow.
It's still slow. It's just 54 is the first one you hit like a brick wall.
I agree to that one. Did not like
I just-
54.
I just bought my new song, so was I killing that other guy's
Dude,
mom?
Stop moving.
My bad.
What level
Sorry,
do you... I mean, not
sorry,
what level.
Fatso.
What do you get at that level? At 59?
I can't remember. I just bought them and I can't remember, man.
Is it more than
of
one?
them wasn't anything great. It was like a charisma song or something.
Dude,
And then the other was something that seemed important. I can look it up real quick, maybe.
give that to him when he stops moving.
To the Necro?
No, I don't know the Necro. Give it to the Shadow Knight. Give it to the human, the ugly human.
Has it got purple
Oh.
pants? Do you have purple pants for me?
No.
No, he has bone chips. I actually have an entire backpack
I
full
have
of bone
some
chips on me.
bracer, maybe two on one of my
I have like 4 stacks, and I'm gonna die. Maybe. We'll see.
Here.
It's on Ruhog now.
Good. He's a ranger. That's what he's supposed to do. Die.
Right? So we can get some loot here.
I'm the only one who hasn't died here yet.
Thanks.
Famous last words.
Thanks for rubbing it in, big guy.
Right.
Keep wanting to reach over and hit my like tap button, but I'm on the wrong thing.
How do you like a ranger, man? Do you like it?
Mm-hmm.
Tell the truth.
Come on.
Again, I say mm-hmm.
Just
I've
so.
seen some good rangers. If anybody watches Twitch, Burrito had a ranger for a long time, and it was a pretty
Burrito?
strong ranger.
Did you watch...
Burrito's twinked out to the teeth.
Oh yeah.
I think it's really good once you get to that level. It's the same thing me and Donald were talking about before. He
This
noticed...
clerk's gonna die.
He noticed the exact same thing with his bard that I noticed with my monk, that once you hit level 35, kind of turns into a different beast altogether.
Yeah, for a ranger, it's definitely past 30, 35, somewhere around there when your dual wield starts actually making a difference and double attack.
And your criticals on with the bow.
Right.
What about your mage? Did you notice a level where he just kind of started being more than he was before?
Definitely when I hit somewhere in the 30s with the pets, those pets started wrecking stuff because the pets starting at 35, I think, or 34, they doubled their health regen.
Right. So it sounds like a lot of classes start coming into their own around level 30 to 40.
certain classes you can tell a difference. You get a big break in the 20s, like for necromancers when they start getting a better lich, I guess you could say, and their pets are a little bit better. 24 is 24 is pretty nice. 20 and 24 are pretty nice for necros, but 34 definitely is a game changer.
Because I know with Thuum's Warrior, he didn't really start coming into his own until about 35 to 40, 45 maybe on the high end of that, because, you know, his weapons just weren't proccing for him.
Right.
So some of them
Monk
a little bit
too.
sooner.
Monk opens up big time in the 30s.
Yeah.
You start doing some crazy damage.
It was crazy. I mean, from one day to the next, over there in High Keep, I logged on, killing, got a couple of levels.
Yeah, flying kick at 30.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what does
50 points on El Guapo. I'm like...
Yeah, I do, I think, 125 or something like that on the high end of it. Sometimes you only do like 1 or 2 points with it when you get unlucky. But
yeah, but once you actually start getting better at it, man, you better get away from my mom. What's wrong with you?
Jumpy, man.
But yeah, once you start getting more points into it and you start getting your levels, you start missing a whole lot less. Obviously, I think flying kicks for me, I'm popping about 175, 180 flying kicks.
wow,
That's on the high end.
that's not bad. You got some really good equipment on your guy though, so
It's pretty. I mean, I hate to say it, but for other people that are on the server, been on the server for a little while, it's actually basic right now, right? But it is really nice gear for it being, you know, quote unquote basic gear.
yeah.
It's crazy nice. That panther skin armor makes a huge difference.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, I mean,
That robe, being able to click that robe out is really nice too.
haste. I mean, anytime you have haste on your character, it's going to make a huge difference.
Right.
I don't know. For me, when I got that panther skin from you and your friend, and I don't want to, you know, say what his name was so people don't hit him up or anything like that, but big shout out to him, man. I can't thank you enough for it. It was, like you said, night and day difference. I went from being able to tank blue mobs sometimes to being able to tank yellow mobs on almost every occasion without having to worry too much about it. I was able to pull 5 or 6 mobs at once, get blasted by spells, and still at the end of the pool have plenty of life left to do it all over again. So, huge. But it's so expensive, man. Those things are so expensive a piece.
Yeah. Way cheaper than the rogue stuff.
Yeah.
And cheaper than the ranger stuff, but it's really nice.
Is the rogue stuff worth it, though? Because by the time you're able to actually afford those pieces, aren't you probably getting better in, like, you know, KC or Seb?
Rogue stuff is for people that have the money to spend on it because it's so expensive.
Oh, okay, so twinking only, basically.
Yeah, if you're starting off your character, you're not gonna spend 7K on a chess piece. You don't have that. You don't have that cash to do that.
Right, and by the time you can spend 7K, you're probably going to be able to get better in those zones we were talking about, right? Like Seb and KC?
Well, by the time you want to spend 7K on a chess piece, you've got everything else going on. You might be able to do it, but yeah, you might be able to also go and farm your third gear or whatever it is.
Oh, yeah.
Or something else.
Well, heck, I mean, if you got 7K to spend on a chess piece, why don't they just buy the third gear right off the bat? Because you can buy the shoes and the gloves, like the crappy pieces that don't really add that many effects to it, but still have tons of AC and some somewhat decent stats. Maybe not the best ones in the world, but, I mean, better than anything you're going to have at low level. And as long as you have the faction for it, you can turn it in.
Yeah, true.
Because I was telling Noddle about this earlier. There was somebody, I think it was a paladin, who was over in Upper Guck, and he had a full set of Kale on his guy.
Crazy.
At like level 30-something. But he was over in, I think, Anonymous or something like that, so, you know, it's kind of one of those top-end guilds that are going through all these places, probably just letting it rot if nobody else wants it.
Pretty much, yeah. They do plate cycle, whatever, for the third stuff over in Kale.
Yeah.
All the time.
I don't know, that Haze Panther, though, like you said, is so... Like, it's like
really
1K.
nice.
1K for just the Haze...
Just the asphalt skin. They're rare.
Oh, really? Because
yeah, they're really rare. The Haze Panther skins are rare.
there's not many Haze Panthers in the zone in the first place. So if the skin is rare, you're going to have to kill for a long, long time, I imagine.
They spawn off of regular Panthers kills. So you gotta kill the regular Panthers, and then they'll pop. I think there's 4, maybe a little bit more. I don't know, but you kill the Panthers in order to make the Haze Panthers pop, and they go invis.
Oh, you don't have to kill those white panthers over next to the plane of growth?
The Mist Panthers are completely separate.
Oh, okay. Ooh, ding.
Congrats.
The Mist Panthers are for the rogues then, right?
No,
No?
Mist Panthers aren't for anybody.
Oh. I was thinking that you had to build your way up to those because they are red to me every time I go through that zone, even at like level 54, so.
I think you start off indifferent with them though.
I do, yeah. I don't know about everybody else.
Yeah, I think everybody does. I think they might be on Tunar faction.
Oh. Is there any way to fix that faction if you go into the plane of growth and start killing in there?
Not that I'm aware of. I haven't checked. I honestly haven't checked. I don't know.
Because I see people doing that. And it kind of boggles my mind. I'm like, you have to be playing the right class, I think.
Maybe.
Because it's not all evil characters. You would think that people would just be like, I'm not ruining my faction, but man, I've seen clerics in there before, and
yeah, the raid gear. I mean, raid guilds, once they have what they need with the Tunar faction, what else do they need it for?
just so you can go back home.
At 60, at 60,
never
you don't
go
need to
back home. Never go back home again, guys. Never.
That's cool. Just go to what is it? Go to Third and request political asylum, and
Right.
you'll be all right.
I guess that could be your new home away from home. It does have everything you could possibly want, and I don't know. Does it have all the guilds for all the different classes too, or no?
I don't think so. Like, I don't think you can train everybody in there.
Right. So you still have
if
to
anybody.
train all your stuff. I know. When they finally did come out with Plane of Power, you go to the Plane of Knowledge.
You can buy your spells up there. You can do everything up there.
Yeah, had every guild up there, and it was all neutral. So they were trying to make like the centralized place that people could go, look for groups, get things organized, start their raids and things of that sort. And it definitely did work for that. Unfortunately, it killed off a lot of other zones in the process of doing that, because that's what those other zones were used for. I still liked it to some extent. It was just, I don't know, it could have been more well organized, a little bit more spaced out, not too crowded as it was.
Plus, it was a zoo.
Yeah. And then I really didn't like the stones.
Try, Crescent Reach, Mines of whatever it is you start in now.
Oh, I don't know about that one.
Have you ever logged in, tried live?
Doom something.
Everyone
mines?
starts in a mine, like a tutorial mine.
Oh,
Yeah, with
yeah.
Crescent Reach.
Kobolds have captured you and whatnot.
Every race starts in the same city.
Yeah. I went back, what was it? It was right before I started Project 1999, so I guess maybe more than a year ago. I went back and I was playing it just to, I don't know, I had that itch to play Everquest. I wanted to try it out. It just wasn't the same game in so many different aspects, but I was willing to give it a shot. The biggest thing is I had to start a new character because I had forgotten how all the controls worked. I didn't know how to like examine anything anymore. I didn't know how to what was good and what wasn't, other than like, the AC. I knew what stats were and all that other stuff, but as far as like just the bare basics of how to move around, because it wasn't like, they've changed a few key features in that game compared to what it used to be. And so I had to go through that little tutorial to kind of remember and refresh my mind on how to get things around. And then I went back and started playing my cleric again. And I started doing the hot zones, the dailies. And you can go in there and you can get that Defiant armor and stuff. I don't know, it didn't sit well with me that I replaced my armor pretty much every 5 levels. On the dot. All of it. Every single piece. And it was so easy to do so.
Well, and
You had to find it,
for
though.
for you, was it like this? You do a daily and it's like 4 AAs or a level almost, like 80% of a level every time you do a daily.
Exactly, yeah.
It's crazy.
And the dailies were easy to do. You can do them by yourself, or you can do them with a friend. I mean, it was just faster to do them with another person. You could use your mercs if you had them, things of that sort. But it just seemed way too quick and way too easy, and I didn't need to really have to memorize. Like, there was no piece of armor that I was like, ooh, I'm drooling over that thing. I want to work for it. I want to go get it. Like right now, we were talking about KO and TOV and the Sky Shrine armor. Those are things that people work for a long time, sometimes months. But sometimes they never get it, but they work for it because it's something that is highly sought after and an incredible piece of armor. And you know what it is. You know the name of it. You know some of the stats on it if you don't know all of them. In EverQuest Live, I didn't know what any of the stats were. I knew Defiant armor, and just another version of the Defiant armor to the next version of Defiant armor to the next one. And you're just going to keep doing that until you start getting raid gear. And I'm pretty sure the raid gear wouldn't be that hard to get either, from what I remember people talking about. So, and I just
The
It sounds
divine
like you're
armor
hating
was
on.
basically epic.
I'm trying
gear.
not to. I'm trying not to because I know that people out there like live, and I have no problem with people doing that. I just want something a little bit more difficult for my own
This is the complete
preference.
truth about it,
We
though, and
just
I'm not trying to
disconnect?
hate on it either because I understand. But
Uh-oh.
my bard was one of the number one or close, top 5. We'll put it that way, not to be bright. But when I left the game, 8-year break, I came back, and when I spawned in, it said you have rewards waiting on you. All
Yeah,
the
those
gear that
card
it gave me
things.
was better than all my raid gear when I left,
Yeah.
and that was the free gear for logging back in.
Just like I said, when I went
And
back,
it was kind of sad, you know what I mean? Like I was like, and that's when I decided to go play on a different server.
yeah, I didn't even get all those rewards. I didn't even look at that aspect of the game because I knew that was going to take me hours to go through. But I went back and all the gear, like you said, from raiding, I had the top end stuff, man. I had my sprinkler and all that other stuff. Getting one piece of Defiant armor was better than my entire suit combined.
And your epic.
Yeah, well, I mean that's included in the
It's
suit, like
essentially
everything.
an epic piece.
Well, it's more than an epic piece. Like one piece, like a boot, has more stats on it than all of the other armor that I had. That's too much. It's like you don't. I just don't understand where MMOs want to go when they get to the higher end. I think that's they kind of paint themselves into the corner, having to or wanting to create an expansion that's more powerful and just better than all the other ones before it because they're trying to give people new content. I understand that, but I
They're
think they
trying
need
to
to balance it more. They need to be concerned with not creating better or bigger content. They need to just do better content instead of more stats. Create different stats. It doesn't necessarily need to have more AC by a lot. In fact, one extra AC in this game makes a huge difference at higher levels.
Remember D&D +1 short sword. People are like, "Oh boy, my first magic weapon."
Right? I mean, that's what I'm saying. So instead of having poison gear, you have disease gear. And instead of having disease gear, you could have that would get old as well. So you'd have to spice it up a little bit and do something different other than that all the time. But you don't always have to outdo yourself. You don't always have to add another 5 levels in with the next expansion because what you do at a certain point is you make the game at lower ends so easy because you're too super high. I think 50 was a good number. I think 50 is a good number to stick with and really not go any beyond that. 60 is not too bad either, but 50 I think was the right level because at 50 you could still go back to some of the earlier zones on certain classes and get just your face eaten. With my cleric, I went to Najina to camp some stuff, and I was being stupid. I was running by things and sitting in wrong spots, and I think I got like 60 greens on me, and I ended up dying from that at level 50. So you were not this all-powerful being able to go wherever you wanted to, anytime you wanted to. You did have to worry about what was around you. I don't know if you guys have a different take on it. I mean,
Well,
No.
the one thing I was disappointed when I first joined Everquest was when you first started out, you started out with like maybe 15 hit points, first level. You're like, "Oh, well, that's pretty good. It won't have a chance of dying," right? Compared to D&D, right? Where you might have gotten like 6 hit points if you were a rogue.
I mean, at the max that you get on this one is close to, what, 6K? On your hit points? I mean, you don't really go any higher than that. That's like with like the best stuff in the game. Maybe, I think at the high end later on, people got up to close to 10K, but that's like
No, no,
super
no, no.
rare.
On my server, on Rayless Tech server, there was a warrior who had like 78,000 hit points.
Oh, you're talking about live.
You're talking about later on in expansions later on, though.
Yeah.
No,
We're talking about current expansion Velius. And yeah,
Right.
you're right. 6K-ish. I mean, probably more if you got best in slot for every slot, but
Well,
that's
Let's
warriors.
compare. How many hit points does Doom hold? Unbuffed.
unbuffed, I think it's
Ungeared.
like close to
25,
3.
28.
Yeah.
Is
At
that
most.
including ungeared?
No, I don't know what he is ungeared because he's always wearing armor, but
Okay, you know what? Usually the typical max is for I think it's like a 12th level warrior in D&D, 120.
I mean, they can go that route. It just makes things...
Two different games, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I know that's kind of what I was expecting. Even on D&D Dungeons and Dragons Online, you get way more hit points than that.
But that's what I'm saying is I don't mind them going with the smaller scores. In fact, I think they need to go
Yeah.
with the smaller scores
And
and the
make it a
higher
little-
ones.
easier to survive a little bit in comparison.
Well, I mean, the
In
mobs
this
have to
game,
be
it's
with.
so easy to die.
I mean, you gotta remember too, like WoW did the same thing. WoW, you get to a certain threshold, and then their stats are going way off the range.
Yeah.
And so all they did was a stat squish. They squished numbers across the board. Mobs had different lower numbers. Your spells had lower numbers. Your stats had lower numbers. Everything across the board got squished.
Could you imagine?
Which is fine
these-
if it
any of
works.
okay, what's he got? He's got 445. Let's say this ranger was somehow cross-platformed into a D&D campaign. You know how he would compare? He'd be like godly.
Yeah,
And he's
but
only what, 14th level?
but like you
But
said,
again,
just two different games.
Two different
Yeah.
games, two different rule sets. I mean, the servers don't run the same. The games aren't designed the same. Not even close.
No,
Right.
no, I
But
mean,
the mobs in this game are within reason of what you have. So if you're fighting a creature, it knows, or at least the programmer knew when it programmed it, that he needs to hit for a certain amount of damage because you're going to have a certain amount of hit points at that level. So it's a within reason on that one. I think that's the point I'm trying to get across, though, is at higher levels, when you go to like level 80, level 90, because the game keeps trying to up its stats, that eventually you go down back to like level 10 or level 20 or level 30, and those creatures have absolutely no chance whatsoever to even touch your guy. And even if they could, your guy has like a gazillion hit points because they weren't designed to take into account a player who is ever going to have that. And I think
Well,
if
even like on this server, right? People have been around forever and a day. And what's the first thing people say to do whenever you make a new character, if you have the money for it, is to twink them out.
yeah,
You put a couple of platinum fire wedding rings on a tune, along with some other stuff. And when you saw that one day, you gave him the gear to one of my characters. His hit points went through the roof.
yeah, it's like 70% of your life was your armor.
The gear, because
Yeah.
he went down to like 20% health. And when you regen all that back up, and you can go through and mow through everything
Well, maybe not everything though, because you do still have limitations.
at level.
Yeah, at level. But I kind of wish that they had reined it in a little bit more instead of giving me armor that, because they don't really need to give you armor that's increased every expansion by 10 or 15 AC. Give me one that's increased by 1 AC. Like I said, that's a big improvement in this game. Give me something that increased by 1 strength or 1 stamina instead of 10 stamina.
Yeah, but the amount of people, I mean, because granted, at the time, right? I mean, because this is based off of a game that was at the time
New, yeah.
you were paying monthly fees. If you had done that, man, you would have, the amount of subscribers would have dropped, because that's what people expect, to have better stats.
No, yeah.
Not by 1 or 2. They were expecting,
Oh.
especially the elite people that were raiding, they were expecting their gear to be a whole lot better than the previous expansion.
We got
But they're going to put all those hours in there.
a spot. Invite Chupa, man.
Yeah, she was saying, I was telling her we're gonna put him in. I didn't know she was. Someone else is leaving too. I think the Necro or the Wizard.
Want to go try Work Highway?
I think that's still camped, and we're probably pretty low for it.
We're
but-
low.
Oh wow, my.
I'm not going to be able to touch any of this stuff anyways.
But I mean, now that the game has come out and it's gone down that path, and people have seen where that leads, I think probably most gamers who have gone through that at least once, whether it's been on EverQuest or WoW or any of the other MMOs out there, that have all pretty much done the same thing. Watch out, man! You're about to die.
Who is?
Or tank. You might want to run it if you're gonna die. Yeah, run it.
I'm
Run it.
snaring them, so you should be able to outrun them.
I'm seeing if I can read it.
Resist it.
Dang it.
And I'm dead.
Yeah. Now we lost another one.
Uh,
Yeah, for you.
I'll
3
run back
times
here.
now.
Might have
Run
to
it.
zone
You got
it.
another one on you, dude.
Whoa,
How
now
do
I
you have
got-
2?
I don't know. Ruhog attacked that one. Ruhog's dead.
woo woo.
All right, I'm running it
I
to the
got Spare of
south.
the Wolf, so I should make it.
Oh yeah. Oh no, the bard's killing it for us.
Is there one on me? I don't want to look
Yeah,
back.
keep running. Don't turn around. You're gonna get hit, dude.
Something just tried to. I saw spell effects.
That's me trying to taunt
Oh.
this off.
Jeez, that was it was kind of a rough transition getting new people in there and getting a mob. It was just a little bit too strong for us. That deep water croc.
Catching up to me.
Hey, Chupa, I made you leader. There is a human
Hey,
monk to your right named Stickin to invite.
Oh yeah, I
catch
can
up to me.
Oh.
Ow.
invite him. I'm sitting over here at the camp when you get.
Oh, I made Chupa leader.
There's
Sorry.
another one of those situations right there. I had sound, But that
Yeah,
can't
but you were at
fucking
1% hit points, dude. You always go slow.
What happened there was my pet got aggro on that somehow, and I don't know how. And then I didn't think they aggro the pet, but I guess they do. I don't know.
I've never seen the Crocs aggro a pet, but you know, if you're gonna get
They don't
aggro on
aggro
anything, your
Yeah.
pet would be it for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll give them an invite here. And guys, I think we're going to go ahead and call the episode here while we kind of reorganize and get our members back and get our feet back on the ground. I do want to thank you all for coming out and joining us. If you do enjoy these videos, definitely leave those comments down below. We love to hear what you guys have to think. And I would actually personally like to hear what you guys think about the downfall of MMOs when they go too far overboard on the stats, or whether you think that is a downfall, whether you think that is fantastic. Because Everquest 2, man, on some of their pieces, they had like 1,500 on each one of the stats. So 1,500 on stamina,
Wow.
strength, agility. So overall, you'd have, you know, 7,000 or 8,000 stat-wise combined on all those things for one piece of armor.
How do you keep track of that?
You don't. Like, it's just, you look at it and you're like, oh, I got 16, 17 on strength. I need to have, you know, slightly above that on my next piece. And you just, yeah, and you replace them so quickly in that one too that it's not really even that big of a thing. So I think it's kind of like inflation with money. You just go a little bit too far with it, and before long you got to pay $1 million to get a loaf of bread. Kind of want to bring that number down a little bit, you know, have the same effect, but just down a little. Hey guys, and welcome to the disembodied voice of AC Gamer. We are definitely going to be doing a lot more series in the future, but here are a few of them that you guys might find interesting. Of course, you're more than welcome to check them out. I would love to hear your comments. Again, if you do enjoy these videos, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe. It's definitely the indicator that I use to tell if you guys want to see more videos like that, of that particular game style, of that you know, series in the long run. So when you guys leave comments down, it helps me decide whether we should keep doing it, as well as whether you want to see games like that in the future. And here are a few of them right here. I kind of picked out a few of different genres. We will be doing spotlights for other YouTubers in the future. So if you want to get a little shout out, definitely let me know. If you group with me, chances are you will get a shout out in here eventually. But for now, these are just 4 series that I have that I feel like could use a little bit more attention, and that you guys might actually enjoy as well. Thanks again for watching, guys, and we will definitely catch you all next time.